Egypt's president has vowed not to tolerate attacks on Egyptians after violence following his country's World Cup qualifiers against Algeria. Before the first match earlier this month, Algeria's team bus was attacked in Cairo. After the game, anger was felt as far away as France, where widespread rioting erupted between fans in Marseille. But then there was more violence last week after a second match, which finally saw Algeria go through to next year's World Cup. Both sides have blamed the other for the violence. Well, joining me to look at the issue is Dr. Mohammed Al-Badri, who's the head of the Press and Information Office at the Embassy of Egypt in London. Thanks so much for joining us, Doctor. What was really behind this violence?
Well, the main violence erupted on the 18th of November when we were playing, the Egyptian national team was playing the rematch, a qualifying match with Algeria in Khartoum, Sudan. After the match, which Algeria won 1-0, the Algerian fans had organized, premeditated attacks against the Egyptian fans who were there and spectators, and ended up and created a very messy ordeal for the Egyptian people there. They attacked them with stones, with knives, with daggers, and we had to evacuate many of the Egyptian people in a very chaotic manner back home.
That's certainly the way it's been reported in Egyptian media, but the Sudanese police haven't actually confirmed anything more than a few light injuries, and there are suggestions that it's been whipped up and tensions have been ratcheted up within Egypt. What would you say to that? Could anything more have been done to squash the protests?
Well, actually, when you have 21 people injured in the Egyptian hospitals, and most of them, thanks God, are coming out of it properly and well, you don't need any other people to confirm it to you. We have 21 victims in our hospitals, and we have seen the whole staging, the whole orchestration, the whole pull-out of the Egyptian fans from Egypt, and we know what happened there. It is documented. We have many pictures of this. We are preparing a file in the State Information Service, and it will be for the public pretty soon.
There's been a series of diplomatic meetings in recent days. Are you hopeful that things can be resolved?
Well, we're hoping that Egypt has summoned its ambassador from Algeria for consultations, and we are hoping that the reasons for this will be addressed by the Algerian officials. As you all know, of course, the Egyptian interests in Algeria have been attacked. The Office of Egypt Air in Algeria has been attacked. Orascom Telecom, belonging to a private investing company there in telecommunications, has been attacked. And we believe that much should have been done to protect the Egyptian interest there. It
does go both ways, doesn't it? And there were clashes between Egyptian fans and Algerian players ahead of the previous match that was played. So it is a two-way thing.
Well, actually, the way things were is that the Algerian players came. They came out from the bus claiming that 2 stones were thrown on them, or 1 stone was thrown on them, and many injuries. They sustained many injuries. As a matter of fact, if you would look at the Egyptian tourist buses and things which they were in, the windows they're not resistant, but they are very well protected so that they don't crash down in front of the people who are sitting there. So this kind of 1 stone hitting 3 players is a little bit of an exaggeration. It was an exaggeration.
Doctor, it does seem absurd that a football game has ended in a diplomatic situation.
Actually, what ended up here is the violence that has been created behind this, and we were not the people who staged this violence. On the contrary, I think we believe that we are the victims of this violence.
And Egypt have said that they might boycott international football for 2 years. Is that right? Is that really a proportionate response?
Well, actually, the head of the Egyptian Supreme Authority for Sports declared that we are not going to be involved in any kind of football games or any other sports game between Egypt and Algeria, but the international commitments are going to be reviewed according to each case.
Thank you very much, Dr. Al-Badri from the Egypt's Embassy in London. This is Sky News. Coming up, the coma